December 16th, and it's a couple minutes after 6 o'clock. Momentarily, we'll have the camera set up, and I'd like to start the meeting, and it's being held at 1440 Rochester Road at the Addison Township offices. And if we could all stand for the pledge, please. Ed, you're story of local newsworthy articles. Now be it resolved, the Township of Addison proclaims its gratitude and presents this certificate of excellence for the outstanding services of Don Rush. We, Addison Township, are very grateful for your service. Don, wishing you much happiness and success in your future endeavors. On behalf of the Addison Township Board, and it's signed, of course, by me. Okay, I'd like to just, well, I think, could we get a picture? Yeah, hold on. Well, I'd like you to stand in front of the board, and well, then you have to.
Yeah, no, stand if you just hand it, but
Okay.
just hand it to him.
You get Pauline's top of her head?
Oh, no, I moved.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to just shake your hand before you leave, though. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, you can stay for the meeting or you can leave, and,
I'll stay for a minute.
oh,
Kind of fun
yeah, now,
report on.
yeah, because now you'll be our fourth citizen who showed up. Okay. Anyways, okay, department reports, as usual, in my office or with Jamie, financial report, petitions, any petitions? No petitions? Okay, approval of the agenda.
I'd like to add 2 items to the agenda. Number 7, no has discussion on participation. And number 8, authorization to continue $8,000 for seniors to join OPC.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll support.
okay, any further discussion? Not hearing any. Could we have roll call on that, please?
Yes, Linda Garrick.
Yes.
Karen Geibel.
Yes.
Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
Mary Frost.
Yes.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
For the board is the consent agenda, approval of the September minutes, approval of the September invoices, appointments to the Planning Commission, Carol Benz, ZBA, Philip Marshall, and Tom Posiak for the Park Committee. Resolution authorizing the fee schedule for zoning compliance permits and costs for special events or temporary uses. Resolution in opposition to the legislation to preempt local control for siting and permitting of utility-scale renewable facilities, including solar, wind, and large-scale battery storage.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
and we have a second with Linda. Any further discussion on that? Not hearing any. Can we have roll call, please?
Ed Brakefield.
Yes.
Karen Guyval.
Yes.
Linda Garrick.
Yes.
Mary Frost.
Yeah.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Okay, now we'll move on to public hearing and resolution for the 2023 CDBG, which is a community block grant money. As you know, we only have a couple areas that we can put that money into. And we do have a new, I hope everybody got the new allocation, which was, I believe the township was $5,775 in the mobile home repair and $3,500 into senior services. Okay, now this is where we have the public hearing, and the board usually doesn't comment, okay? But the public hearing for the resolution for the 2024 CDBG program, we do this every year. This is the very first public hearing. This is where the board only listens, and if you'd like to address the board, I'm going to open up the meeting here. I'll open it up, I won't use your clock. 6:10. We'll open it up at 6:10. If anybody would like to comment about the CDBG funds, where they're going to, please come forward. We'd love to hear you. I'll ask one more time, if anybody'd like to come forward on the CDBG funds. Okay, at this time, I'm going to close the hearing, and we're going to call it 6:11. Does the board have any discussion on this seat, on the funding?
No, I like that we picked the senior services, so that's gonna be a good selection. I like to move the resolution adopting the programming participation in the CDBG program year of 2024 with authorization to enter into the contracts with Oakland County.
Support.
And we have support. Any comments?
I just wondered if the agenda needed to be, say 2024 instead of 2023.
Yeah, I caught that after the fact, but the resolution has 2024, so we're good.
Okay.
2024. 2023 is almost over.
Thank you.
I know, I don't see the.
Okay, if we have a motion and a second, no other comments? Can we have roll call on that, please?
Yes. Ed Brakefield.
Yes.
Linda Garrick.
Yes.
Karen Guyval.
Yes.
Mary Frost.
Yes.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. So that moved, the resolution is so moved. Okay, the third item is cancel the regular December 18th board meeting. It's right before Christmas. We have done this in the past. I just thought we'd bring this out so that everybody would be able to plan whatever they wanted to plan for the holidays. Does anybody on the board have any comments?
Darn it, I wanted a meeting.
We could have a meeting in Florida.
Well, for us men on the board, I was just gonna let you know that we usually don't do our shopping till the 24th anyhow, so. Is that Rite Aid I met you at last year? Yeah,
We have a
11
meeting
o'clock at
in
night?
Florida at a condo.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna ask if all those in favor say aye. Aye, anyone? Pardon?
We need a motion.
Oh, I thought we had one.
No,
Oh.
I'll make a motion and we cancel the December meeting.
Second? I'll second that. Oh, we have support by Mary. Okay, now I'll ask, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And anyone opposed, say nay. Well, the ayes have it. Thank you, and I hope everybody enjoys their Christmas. What do I do with my, there it is. Okay, now we're on to item number 4. This is you know, as you look around town, I just went to the supervisor meeting on the other side of town, and I did notice independents on a lot of the roads just have independence, and it says zone community. But a lot of them, when you come in on the very main road, they do have a logo. We've gone through this before, and I'm not sure if we're all 100% happy with the logo that we have, but anyways, the company we have on the website says they do design some websites, and I would like to give them a chance to come up with something that I think is simple and clarifies what Addison Township is all about with, you know, it's $250. Pauline, I know, has talked to them, and it's a shoemaker group, and I'd like to give them an opportunity to see if they come up. They say they do this as a regular service, so.
There are webmasters, so we really don't have to seek bids. When I chatted with him, he said that he would do it for around $250, which I feel is very reasonable. He will return back to us a few that we can select from, or if we don't like them, we can tell him to do some more. What I kind of like about choosing him is he spent a day in Addison Township with his drone, so he could kind of get the feel of what we were about. He also said it was the hottest day of the summer while he was here. He got to see one of Lori's kids make the horses run, and he still laughs about that. So he kind of understands what we're about, so I'm hoping that he can come up with a logo that satisfies us.
Not just a mosquito.
Not just a mosquito. I won't give him any ideas of a pun, okay?
Or how about roadkill, you know,
Yeah,
or something,
roadkill.
I don't. But yes, I just, it would be nice to add a couple, we only have two major roads, okay, that are paved roads in the towns. It'd be nice to put a sign up someplace letting people know that they've reached heaven. And so,
I'd like to put it on our letterhead too.
well, yes,
Well, that's my question, if we change the logo, how much do we have to change of everything that?
I didn't go forward
We
with
don't
the
have one.
logo because I checked with a lot of the, especially on our web, he advised me not to put what the board approved. He said ours looks really good, but looks more like artwork versus something that's quick and distinctive, and that's what he wants to design for us. So we really will have to add it to our website, but it's not really gonna be removing anything because we didn't really use it.
so. Anybody have any motions or anything?
I'd make a motion to move forward with the logo design from Shoemaker Technology Group for $250.
Can we add with an approved agreement? I want something from him of, this was his estimate.
With an approved agreement.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion,
I'll second it.
and we have a second. Okay, now, any discussion? Anybody have anything? Okay, a motion and a second. Can we have roll call, please?
Karen Gabel. Ed Brightfield.
Yes.
Mary Frost.
Yes.
Linda Garrick.
Yes.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Okay. Pauline said she'd be picking up cans and bottles for 10 cents a piece to pay for this. So
Right.
never say we have
Kathy's
not been
laughing at that
frugal
one.
in Addison Township. Okay. Anyways. We move on to item number 5, authorize the planning commission to review short-term rental and renewable energy ordinance options. As you know, there's a lot of Airbnbs that would like to, of course, come to all of the really nice spots in Addison Township, and this is the same in every township. The other townships are enacting ordinances so that the lake is one instance, doesn't become a weekend playground and nobody lives there. They just come and rent for the, so you have 4 different families on 4 different weekends, and if you multiply that, same thing with some of our residential area and everything. So I think it's a good idea to, let's see what our planners or whatever come up with. Anyways, it's open to discussion, whatever anybody wants to add.
Well, the renewable is taking off from our discussion with the planner, and then also I think at the PC meeting, that was a concern as well.
Yeah, I think we talked about the need for solar farms, being a big issue right now with communities. So,
And this is generally the commercial solar farms, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about,
yeah,
yeah.
where they're taking up the entire farmland and they're on the solar panels, so how is that gonna be regulated?
And you can,
also, I think, wind farms are part of that
It'll
as
be all
well,
of it.
so,
yeah.
yeah, it's just some things for us, so we have some kind of a voice with that.
And you can see that solar farm right up there, right by the don't pick up hitchhiker sign on I-69 where the prison is, okay? And you'll see how big those solar farms can be. But anyways,
I'll make a motion to allow the PC to review short-term rental and renewable energy ordinance options.
A second,
any further discussion on that? We have a motion and we have a second. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mary Frost.
Yes.
Ed Brakefield.
Yes.
Karen Guyval.
Yes.
Linda Garrick.
yes,
Lori Fisher. Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Okay, that passes. We'll move on. Now we're on to item number 6, proposed library property purchase for parcels 0527254007 and 0527256009 for a proposed of $120,000. That's the property across the street here. I've relayed to the chairman and of the library board, and he's relayed back to me that that's an acceptable offer, and I think it's a reasonable offer. It does have a little bit of a lake frontage, and I think we could make that accessible for kayak launching or whatever for our township residents, and make a little park through there. And the library will use that money to move on and build their new library up the road, which they purchased the property on Lakeville, just the other side of the boat launch by Maple Cove there. So anybody have any discussion? I just would like the authorization to say that we're interested to do that, and that I'd like to then give it to our legal to draw up the paperwork.
And the agreement would come back to the board, correct?
Yeah, after Mr. Davis, he would probably contact the library's attorney and get the paperwork put together.
I have 2 comments. The first one, I think it's a great idea. It's something that the township offered citizens for years and years, a long time, will be gone, and they'd still be there. Is this a question of money right now, or you just want authority to take it to the attorney?
Myself, I'd like to say that we have an agreement of the 120 and to authorize the township to go through with that and to have our attorney draw up the paperwork.
So the money issue is already taken care of. This is not a vote for money, this is just.
Well, yes, it would be a vote for money.
Nick, have you got a good motion written? I'll make a motion. Make a motion to authorize the creation of the purchase documents for $120,000 and bring it back to the board for approval.
Okay, we have one motion. Do we have a second?
I'll support.
And we do have a second. Any discussion from anybody?
so the development of that for a park, is that gonna come back to us, or how's that gonna work?
We will develop, well, my plans are, first of all, to put a parking lot in and get an access for a kayak, and then clear that out and put a nice walking path through, maybe with some little streetlights, a couple benches, and make it just a nice park that somebody can walk down and to the waterfront and walk back and sit down and relax, you know. That's my thinking.
How much is that, I'm sorry, what was the frontage area you said on the lake, how many feet?
There's about, I believe, 35 feet, and I talked to Mr. Smith, and the repairing rights are underneath there, but he brought up the maps and said there actually is room for the dock in there that belongs to that property. So we don't have to worry about the riparian rights.
And how is that configured, it goes across the road, or?
Yes, it's just across the mill mine, or, is it mill mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, just goes across mill mine there. And I'm thinking that we just put a small parking lot, and this is a township park, this is for township residents. This is not a boat launch or anything like that for everybody to come to. This would have a sign that it's an Addison Township, because we're paying for it,
So it'll be like a little pocket park.
Yeah.
yes.
I was gonna say, I think we need to, the idea in this is fine, but we're gonna need to address Pocket Park in the zoning or rezone before we start work on it.
Adding pocket park to residential zoning.
Residential, and I think they have SF, they might have commercial, but I think we'd have to go through and add Pocket Park in it.
So is that gonna be reviewed by anybody as this is developed, or is that just gonna be a project for you, Bruce?
Well, I've got quite a few projects going right now, but I do have a chainsaw.
I think we'd have to put that zoning into effect before we went down that road.
I think we could make that, that one end of the park usable pretty quickly on the one end. Okay, I do have some people that I think might donate to help us get that at least in operation on the one end so that they could park and use the launching for a kayak or whatever,
Is
canoe.
that like right behind where the dentist office is?
Yes,
Okay.
Was your concern more of the zoning or?
I'm just wondering about the use, how it's gonna be developed. Like I said, you know, you said talking about kayaks and people walking across the street and now a dock, I didn't know what we're gonna be looking at with it.
well, the other,
Questions? No?
the other issue when they wanted to put the library there is that the people next to it were concerned about the activity of a library there. So I think, in my opinion, this is much more subtle, and I think they'll be happier with this than to have a parking lot and the lights and the activity at the library. I mean, this should be a passive park because at nighttime, you're not gonna see any canoes or kayaks out on the water. It should be
Well,
day
let's see
use.
plans when you come up with them.
Anyway, well, okay, so where were we now? Did we had a motion and a second? Did we? Okay. Any other comments? Could we have roll call, please?
Karen Guyval,
Yes.
Linda Garrick,
Yes,
Ed Brakefield,
Yes,
Mary Frost. Lord-
Abstain. Because I'm connected with the library. Okay.
You're not on the library board.
I'm
not-
not on the library board, but I'm still very connected to the library, so.
Oh, you'd be fine on voting then. I mean, what? I'm connected to the library. We're all over there knocking down walls, putting up, Gene Lewart put up the drywall and air conditioning. I think we're all there with a sledgehammer and paint, and I painted
Well, the
with,
reason I'm abstaining is because of the money and stuff, and I just want to step
But
back.
you're not getting money.
I don't think you can,
I can't? All right, well then, yes.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Get that out of her. Okay. Where are you at now?
I'm very cautious.
Lori Fisher.
Yes.
Bennett, yes. Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, and that passes. Whew. Okay. No, we all support the library. We're at the dinner, we're all, one way or another, this whole community builds libraries. We don't buy them, we build them, so we're all connected to it. Number 7 now, no-has. As you know, they raised the price on no-has a lot, okay? I think everybody sees what happened. It went way up from what we were paying. I think we were paying in the 7,000 bracket. But anyways, in the last few, we had 120 cars or 100, somewhere around that. We had that many cars going through, and the township supplements, they pay $10 and the township pays the rest of it. My thing with only 120 some cars going through, now they raise it up to what, 17,000? Am I close to that?
No.
What'd they raise it up to?
13,000.
13,000. So at 13,000, if we had 100 cars at $10, we're supplementing to the tune of what, $130 a car? And I've been to the hazmat, and I know it's a really good program. I appreciate the program. We tried to find other vendors that could do this, and but then the county came back, I guess, with Pauline, talked to them, and if we could reduce our contribution down by raising the price of the people who go there. I'm looking at that if we pay, if we have everybody, if they think it's really important, which I think it is, I don't think anybody will mind paying $50 to go and get rid of all their hazardous waste. And by doing that, we're paying half and they're paying half. And I think it would be wise if everybody maybe carpooled, because instead of one car, I've been there, and you'll see one car pull up and they have 2 cans of paint. Or they'll pull up and they'll only have one item, or they'll have like a computer or this or that. And for them to go up there with just one item, I think it would be wise that at $50, maybe if people carpooled, because it is a long line anyhow, that, you know, if you had 4 families and everybody got together, it'd only be $12, and the township wouldn't be supplementing that at a large price. So anyways, does anybody have any
Yes.
discussion?
In contacting NOHAS, and I asked them, there's not a guarantee, number one, that they'll accept us if we go outside their formula. So right now they're at $15. But at the same time, they sent the letter and said that we need to decide if we want to at least advance and offer something. So I went ahead and I created a chart for you guys, showing the breakdowns of how much it's gonna cost during the different dollar amounts. So when we opted out of NOHAS, we were right around 7,000. So as you can see, they doubled in price. So I was thinking to go at $30 at 90, and then we're spending $9,800. And then if you go to one of the pages that I listed for our 2024 and 2025 budget year, it shows that we have 15,000 left over of community projects. So if we did the $30, we would still have 5,000 left over for community projects. And the only reason why I'm saying 30 is if the other communities are doing 15, we're already double versus the 50. The odds are we're gonna end up going to the 50 the following year. The good aspect of this is NOHAS is only good for 1 year. So if we can find a way to solve this issue next year, we don't have to go in with NOHAS. But Bruce tried really hard to solve it, and there was just no way to do it.
My analogy is that for OPC, we send our seniors down, we pay half. And here, if we pay half, I think that's more than reasonable. I just envision that if this is their price this year, I know it's gonna increase dramatically over the next few years for NOHAS. And I mean, I don't know where the end will be on this. I try to explain to people when they call up, and we had about 10 people who complained that, what do you mean you're not having NOHAS? And our vendor that who does this at other places said, you know, a lot of people just bring paint in, and to be honest with you, if you just put cat litter in it and let it dry, you can throw that in your garbage. The oil, they will take at Tractor Supply, and they'll take at the automotive stores. The only thing that the computers, there's a place that actually pays you for your used and old computers, because, you know, there's gold and silver in those, and they actually pay for them. And there's matter of fact, there was a listing and advertising in the Oxford Leader that showed that if you bring it here, we'll pay you for your used equipment. I mean, so those are some of the options. Now, the only thing I can see is like the batteries. The household batteries was something that we just didn't know how you dispose of those. But
Still don't.
pardon?
And we still don't know.
And yeah, and I don't know how they dispose of those either. But the household batteries, if we could solve that problem, a lot of these things, people could get rid of all this stuff on their own, and wouldn't cost them anything, you know? I mean, car batteries and everything. I saw tons of car batteries at the no-has, and they'll actually pay you money. You go and you get $9, $10 a piece for a used battery now at any of the recycling places. So I mean, there's money if you want to, take those things to those places. And I can name you 10 of them within a few miles of Addison Township that will take the batteries. So
So the green on this map that they supplied, that's the no-has. So as you can see, a lot of them are in no-has. I did contact Soccer last year, and they were so busy, they said they could not take us on. It would be a drive for the residents, but I think it would be cheaper. So that's why I'm bringing up, no-has is only gonna be good for a year, so we can still try to work out other solutions. But based on their map, and this is what's posted, and they'll actually put Addison Township, it does not participate. So it is upsetting to our residents when they see that they're not, well, they could go, but they would have to pay the full amount. So it is, I think we should go back into it at least for a year and see if we can't come up with a different solution.
yes,
So just so I'm clear,
Yes,
the total, let's just say 10 people only showed up next year, are we paying, we're paying more than? So our full exposure is gonna be, the township's exposure, what they proposed here is how much?
no, so it's based on 129 cars, because that was our last time when we dropped out. We were at 129 participant. So these totals that I gave you are based on 129. So for an example, if we only had 100, it's still gonna be, their cost for next year is $106.25 per car. So it's multiplied by how many units go in. And then at the bottom of your form, there's plus administrative fee, and they're estimating at $500, which I thought, do you mean per event? Because then it would really add up. And she's like, no, the $500 fee is the cost for Oakland County to administer. The other amount is the actual cost of collecting and taking care of the hazardous waste.
So if we had 10 cars, we would only pay for the 106 times 10.
Yes. So I'm basing this on what our last rate was.
Then how do you charge, I'm sorry, how do you charge the people that actually show up,
They-
they actually get the,
Yes.
they have to
Well-
pay $30 to the, or how does that work?
yes, you sign up ahead of time, because if you notice that when they had at the middle school, the traffic is lined up for a mile all the way into Oxford there. And then they have it all set up in the parking lot, and they go through, and they have all the volunteers there, but they collect the money right there at the front.
Well, I think paying half sounds reasonable.
I was concerned if we go to the full 50 that people wouldn't go. And I feel like if we're gonna spend the money, I guess I think these prices are exorbitant, but
Yes.
I think if we're gonna do it, I just am concerned at $50, how many people wouldn't choose to go?
And I think they're gonna be upset. Whereas if we start at 30, and then next year we might have to go at 50. So that's where I'm at. It's more palatable to tell somebody it's only gonna be $30.
All right, well, then I'll make a motion that we participate in no-has this year, with the resident fee at $30.
I'll support.
One thing, okay. So, and I also need authorization to, start attending their meetings and actually represent that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, any further, we have a motion and we have a second,
I have
any further?
one more question.
Oh, gee,
So,
go right ahead.
at the very bottom of the letter, it says, "We would also appreciate your assistance in identifying," that's not that one. In the past, and I think they will do it again, and I can't find it, we have to have one person there for the cleanups, or they charge us. I would like to propose to them that we will, hopefully somebody's gonna volunteer, the ones that are in our immediate area, because I don't foresee anybody from Addison driving to the opposite end of Oakland County and using it. So I'd like to propose to them probably 4 sites instead of the 6 sites, and see if they'll take us in with that.
Well, most of our people go to the middle school one, and
Yeah.
you live close to that, so I would suggest that Pauline would love to
I was thinking
volunteer.
of Mary.
Oh,
Thanks.
well, Mary's pretty close too to that.
So there's one in Orion, usually there's one in Oxford, there's one at the county site, and I think there's one at OU. I think almost all of ours does go to the Oxford one, but I know that they're not gonna give us a buy on all of them.
There's not one in Orion, I don't believe. There's one in Oakland
Okay,
University,
Yeah.
there's one here, and then there's one over in, Highland, I believe.
say that one again.
One in Pontiac and one in Highland, I believe.
See, we won't go to those, Highland or Pontiac. So
No.
I'd like to say, we want in at 30, and we will try to supply help for 4, and you give us a buy for the other 2.
That's. are
There's
there
6
4 or
events.
6?
There's
I thought
6
there were only
events.
4.
No, there's 6. They start in, I think, May and end in September.
So which 4 are we gonna do?
The close
Oxford
ones.
and Oakland University, and maybe the county.
And
They're
then
not
one-
gonna create a flyer saying that our people can't go there. I'm just trying to
Right,
say,
no,
we're
we
not
just
going to
don't.
give help those 2
Right.
days and don't charge us.
How much they charge?
Last time it was so minute that basically nobody showed. I think it was like $50, but since we haven't participated, I don't have that number here. But if they say no, then we would end up paying the $50 if nobody shows up.
And it's not that much, I mean, how many, just one day and hours of, isn't it?
It's a big day. Chuck Sargent was the last one that I met there, and he was out there with his vest directing traffic for quite a long time. And it's a full day's work. I mean,
Yeah, well, you're talking to a Girl Scout here.
Yeah, but as a trustee, he was appointed and he got those meeting wages or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah. So,
I'll do it.
oh, there you go.
We have to get in first.
I know we do. When we get in.
You don't have any conflict with hazmat, do you?
No.
Okay, we're
That's
good.
not-
Okay, just checking. You can vote on this one.
Okay.
Okay. So what was the motion and what was the,
Linda and Karen made the motion. Linda made the motion, Karen supported, so we're ready for a roll call.
okay, you
And the
don't,
motion was for $30 and to authorize the clerk to present and discuss to NOHAS that we would like to participate.
okay, does the clerk have anything else she'd like to add to that?
No,
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. And we'll vote on that. Thank you. Roll call, please.
oh, can I add this?
Go.
Ed Brakefield,
Yes.
Linda Garrett,
Yes.
Karen Geibel,
Yes.
Mary Frost,
Yes.
Lori Fisher,
Yes.
Bennett, yes, Supervisor Pearson.
Yes. Okay, $30. Okay, now we're on to item number 8. Okay, this is the authorization to continue $8,000 for the seniors to join OPC, which is the senior center in Rochester there for 2023-24 budget year from the Community Projects 101-261-884-000. I think this is a great service and our seniors have been using it. I get a lot of great comments from it. And in the wintertime, this is a great place for seniors to go. And they did announce to me that I was a senior and I was eligible for this. I didn't know it, but so I think it's a great idea anyhow. So does anybody have any questions?
Do we use all the funds every year?
I knew somebody's gonna ask me that and I didn't look it up in time.
It's
I'll try to-
It's really close if it's not. all.
Yeah.
I think it was about 8 or 9 short, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Know that it's there for the taking.
We do a mailing to let them know that this is available, and like today I'm already getting phone calls, so that's why I thought, oh, I better not wait till next month, we may need to approve it now.
Well, I'd make a motion to continue the $8,000 for the seniors to join OPC for the 2023-2024 budget year from Community Projects, 101-261-884-000.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Any further comments on this? Not hearing any, could we have roll call, please?
Yes. Ed Brakefield,
Yes.
Mary Frost,
Yes.
Karen Geibel, Linda Garrett,
Yes.
Lori Fisher,
Yes.
Bennett, yes, Supervisor Pearson.
Yes, and that passes. Now, we'll move on to public forum. Anybody in the public would like to speak, please come up to the podium and just state your name, and we'd love to listen. And this is where we listen.
Bruce, I was wondering, what is this green thing that's being built in the old marina area here? And the reason I asked was because family members, we've recently gone through, built seawalls and a new place up north. It took us 18 months to get a permit for the seawall, which the state now requires 70% built, 30% natural. And when that place, changed hands, there's no way they got a permit. It took us 18 months to get one. And the other thing is the state eagle has requirements on setback from the water. It's 50 feet. And that's 50 feet from the furthest overhang, deck, whatever. Was a site plan review done where they had a variance on that? Because I know the state doesn't give variances on that. So it'd be great to hear what's going on there and how they're able to build that within 10 feet of the lake.
Well, all I can say is, if you come in and see me at the building department, then you'll be able to see all of the permits from the
State laws.
Eagle. Thank you.
That doesn't happen.
If you come in and see me in the office there, then we'll show you the permits. Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Nobody? Okay, then we'll close that. Addison Township Board reports. Anybody? Yep.
Pollyant Trail, we were just given a $10,000 grant from Michigan New Profit Relief Fund to be used for general services on arts. I think, congratulations, Pollyant Trail and Linda Moran.
Anybody else on
Oh,
board?
one more thing.
Oh,
NODA, we're doing our new parking lot. We're running through a few obstacles. It looks like everything's under control now with the soils. We're moving forward. We're just about to wrap it up, and we are 60,000, I believe it's 60,000 under budget. So on that, so we're looking really good on that.
okay. Yes, Mary.
Beginning of Oxford, or October, I went up to the MTA at, Harbor Springs. Yeah, and I learned a lot about being a trustee. And I even went to one of the supervisor once.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
No.
Sorry,
no.
Bruce.
Did you go to Legs Inn?
No, I did not. I've been there, but I
You
did
missed
not.
the best restaurant.
Well, I heard the one we went, Petoskey, that restaurant, I can't remember what it was called, but it was pretty good too.
Oh, okay.
I have bad news. We did not get the Spark grant, so we are going to end up having to try to determine how we're going to fund the playground area. And there are other grants available, but they will require matching funds. So I think we all have enough on our plate this coming year, so maybe the next year, maybe we can think of more grants for the playground.
Okay, anybody else? Nobody? Okay, how about, we have any communications?
No.
No communications. Okay, we'll go to the supervisor's report. Well, the park is progressing. As you notice, they're getting ready now to put in the volleyball pit. And the good news is I did get a donation for all the sand. They had allocated $6,000 for the sand. And Eric Eisenhart, who owns the gravel pit up in Metamora, is going to donate the transportation of the sand for us. So that gives us a little extra money to do the few little extras we might have in the park there. So I just wanted to thank him. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Anybody like an adjournment?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? We are adjourned. Next meeting is November 20th, 2023, 6 o'clock here.